Hey, this is Mr. Drogemeyer. Thanks for joining me for our Algebra 1 lesson videos. Today we're working in Unit 2, Lessons 6 and 7, which is talking about the parts of an expression. So we've got a few different vocabulary terms here that we're going to be using, and so I've got some definitions. Let's start by looking at what some of these have to say. So an expression is going to be a mathematical statement that has one or more mathematical terms. So we're going to see two particular, you're going to see expression, you're going to see equation. The main thing to remember when we're talking about an expression versus an equation is going to have an equal sign. It's saying that one part is equal to another. In this case, we're just talking about an expression, and so that just means we're going to have one or more terms. So what is a term? Well, a term, as it says here, is either a variable, a coefficient, or the product of a coefficient and one or more variables. So again, we have some more vocabulary terms that are involved in there. Variable is going to be a symbol that represents an unknown value. So usually we use a letter to be a variable. So in this case, m and n are variables in our expression. They are representing an unknown value. So m and n are both considered or negative n in this case, are variables in our expression. Coefficient is our mathematical term for the number before a variable or a numerical constant. So in this case, 3 is a coefficient. It is the number before our variable m. You could also say that 7 is a coefficient. It's a numerical constant. Doesn't have a variable that is a part of it. And then our last term here is factor. And a factor is a number, a variable, or a term that's multiplied by another number, variable, or term. So in this case, 3 and m are factors. They are being multiplied together. Our last one we talked about were terms. This expression has three terms. We have 3m, we have positive 7, we have negative n. Terms are going to be separated by addition or subtraction. So one of the things we want to be able to do in this particular lesson is identify different parts of an expression. And so we've done that here. What's underlined, those are our terms. We have a coefficient of 3. We have variables m and n and negative n. This 7 is a constant, not being multiplied by anything. And then factors are going to be terms that are multiplied together. 3 and m are factors in this case. And then the other thing that we want to be able to do in this particular lesson is evaluate an expression. So if we know that m equals 2 and n equals 5, we want to be able to evaluate what this expression, what the value of that expression is. So to do that, we are going to substitute or plug in those values for m and n into our expression. So instead of 3 times m, it's 3 times 2. We still have that plus 7, and then minus n, which we said is 5. And so now we could evaluate this expression. So this is where we use our order of operations. So start with parentheses, any exponents, we don't have any exponents, then multiplication and division. So 3 times 2 is 6. And then all we have left is our addition and subtraction. We go from left to right. 6 plus 7 is 13. 13 minus 5 is 8. And so that would be an example of evaluating an expression when we are given what the values of those variables are. All right, and so That's all I've got for you guys today on parts of an expression. We want to be able to identify the different parts of an expression and also be able to evaluate an expression. Um, as always, as you work through these lessons, if you have questions, please let me know. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.